What's up, you guys? So today I will be reacting to Night Talk's Dating Today for Men Be Like. Night Talk is a part of the Red Pill community, mostly dealing with men issues and why men issues aren't being talked about and why they aren't being addressed. I think there are a lot of valid issues that men have out there that are not being talked about. What it's like to be dating in the current market. I'm glad I'm not single. But yeah, let's get into it.
Give your perspective on dating and becoming high value enough to get women, or the reverse end of it, which it seems like you've been touching on, which is like, it seems like you are behind the idea that guys shouldn't even fuck with women until they reach a certain status or level of discipline.
I wouldn't
What do
even.
you think?
I wouldn't even say that though, bro.
Just go off on it.
It's like you have to know you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to shit on those who aren't fortunate enough to have experiences with women, but like if that's not something like normal to you, getting attention from women, talking to women and shit, you got to put that much fucking and it shouldn't be do this because of that, right? Like if you're not getting women, you have no choice other than just to focus on something. You know what I'm saying? Focus on yourself, focus on your purpose, focus on whatever the fuck it is going to empower you, make you feel better than.
I think that a lot of men who put primarily the focus on trying to get a woman, their self-esteem is so low, and because it's so low, once they get a woman, they try to do whatever they can to keep her. You can't put your idea and focus on purely just trying to get girls. You should also work on yourself and become a better person. And when you become a better person for yourself, you're also going to bring up your self-esteem, and you're not going to be so willing to just settle for anybody.
Where does somebody go that's ready to fucking kick it with a girl that's worthy of them, and to find that?
What steps do you think you got to take to get to the position where you're ready to settle down, though?
But it's different for every fucking man, though, dogs. I don't think every man was as a fucking like a horn dog like me. Like I had to get that shit out of my system to be the man that I am for my woman now. Like if I didn't get it out of my system, that shit wouldn't fucking work. But every man ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? Some man, all they need is fucking one or two girls their whole life and they fucking solid. But to actually interact with these women, I think the majority of women today are fucked up. The majority, like 8 times out of 10, you're gonna run into a girl that has been impressioned or has been influenced by the feminist movement.
My question is it a ton because of what we've been seeing and what we've been pushed? Like, Fresh and Fit. The thing that I hate about Fresh and Fit is the majority of the time they don't bring in people who are just from normal backgrounds who just want normal dudes. They bring on the Miami chicks who have a certain lifestyle, who want men who make a certain amount of money. But the majority of women don't act like that, I feel like. We're just watching a whole bunch of one particular, like, type. Are there a lot of those women out there? Yes, but I feel like they are definitely put up on a pedestal for the agenda of feminism.
Like I believe in gender roles. The man's role is to provide stability, or to represent that in their women's eyes. Like my girl makes hella bank. She don't fucking need me for money at all, but she knows that my man got me, right? You know what I'm saying? And to be that manly role for a woman, I feel like that should be the fucking goal. It's just, being the best version of yourself, being the best man as you can. But we in this funky fucking situation where like it seems like it's a dying breed, or like men don't have the platforms to voice that shit.
I come from a different background. So my parents have been married for 30 plus years. My dad was working up until the point where he had a injury that put him in a position to where he couldn't. And this was early 2000s, so I see a lot of like TikToks where dudes are happy to be stay-at-home dads. My dad was living in the time of being a stay-at-home dad where that wasn't chic and that wasn't popular. That wasn't something that he necessarily wanted to do. And even being raised like that, me going to college and trying to get my degree, my dad was like, you're getting a degree because that's a safety net for you. So I've always seen it as a survival, like, tactic, just in case something happens, because in the case of my parents, something did happen. But I would say a large majority of women do have a problem with the fact that they may be making more than men. Divorce rates speak about how money is a huge thing. Yeah, I would agree with this to a certain extent.
What do you think about the fact that it's kind of generally accepted that everything in a faulty relationship is deemed the man's fault, and the fact that if you're to go to like couples therapy with your woman, you're generally gonna get told that her issue with you that's this big, that spiraled into a week-long argument, in order to communicate properly, you as the man have to entertain that. Like, I think that's what therapists say. Something to the effect of like, it was this big to her, or it was this big to you, but it was that big to
Bro,
her.
I can give you examples of that
Please.
shit.
Yeah.
Men and women are different. We know this. Logical, women's emotional, even though bitches don't want to say that shit. I'm not emotional, I'm fucking logical. Nah, fam. Like, me and my woman have disagreements, and she's focused on how she felt about the situation. I'm focused on what the fuck the situation is.
I'm a daddy's girl, so I hung out with my dad all the time. My dad was also my golf coach, so he would say things that would piss me off so much. And one of the things that I had to do, which is something I tell my boyfriend all the time, is when I am emotionally charged, I have to take myself sometimes out of a situation and just be like, okay, let's run the replay, let's run it back. What exactly was said? And if what they said was right, then you need to just fall on your sword and just deal with the situation. If what they said was wrong, it's wrong, bring it up to them. But do it from a place of you sat back and actually went through the process of figuring things out, as opposed to like just being emotional.
Or something happened and it made her feel this certain way, so I need to address how the fuck she feel about it. Fuck, like, that's just how she talks. And then she knows now with me, like, I'm focused on what the fucking situation is. Before we got to the point where we knew, like, how we communicate, it was always this.
It's the default.
It's always this,
Yeah.
because we battling over two different things. Like,
Yeah.
I'm mad about what the fuck going on. I'm thinking she's feels differently about what the fuck I think it is, but she's just mad about how she feel about it.
It's interpretation versus reality. That's what it is. And then what they say is exactly what they mean. I feel like even me personally, I'll do deep conspiracy theories in my mind about exactly what he meant, when literally it's just like, nah, what I said was what I meant.
When a chick gets emotional, I can assess the situation to see where it's coming from. And a majority of the time, you did something that makes her feel insecure. But even being as considerate as I usually am, when I'm still met with
Friction,
unlimited
resistance, yeah.
defense, there's only so
It's
much.
hard to console her when she's providing heat and friction. You know what I'm saying? So I got to the point where she pissed off, and I take this role in with any girl. Like, if they feeling the type of way, just fucking relax, give her a hug, kiss her, tell you love her. It's gonna fucking calm the shit down, and y'all can talk about whatever the fuck it is to talk about. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta.
Guilty. God, I could be pissed off. Just give me a hug, couple smooches, and I'm... Babe, I hope you watch this.
Well, what if you know she's dead wrong, though?
But it
They
doesn't.
don't think that.
But there's no communication as long as y'all
Yeah.
are, you know, in level 10.
And when you're
fighting
heated.
and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, and then we're the logical ones, right? So.
But if she's dead wrong,
If you realize that you're wrong, own it and move on. Like, own it, even if you gotta apologize. Women especially, they'll be wrong, find out that they're wrong, then they'll go below the belt and say something crazy like, that's why your dick is small. Admit you're wrong, you're human, move on. Don't do all that mess. It's too much.
Let me give you the play how to handle this. Ready? This is what you got to do. So when you're dealing with something where you're the logical standpoint and she's the emotional standpoint, emotion, like he was saying with the level 10, it ties into like the amount of friction that's going on. Your logic from this point or 10 minutes from now is going to stay the same. If you give the argument like some space, you're like, whatever, I'm going to go do something, give you some space. If you let it calm down,
What did I say? What did I freaking say? Let's go.
your point remains the same, but her emotion level kind of comes back down, and
Down.
then she can hear what the fuck you're saying. If you both are arguing at level 10, she's not hearing a fucking single thing you're saying because her emotions are so fucking through the roof.
When you spend more than a handful of days waking up in the same bed with the girl that you go to bed with, like, it's almost like you're living together. Now I see what most guys are going through, and I would rather jump in front of a fucking train than do it. You wake up, something happens that's that big, it becomes an argument for the rest of the evening. And when you're actually trying to be considerate towards the girl's feelings and trying to make it work, you're trying to bring her down from level 10 to level 0. And this goes on for hours. It's explosive. Then she calms down. You argue. And then once she finally drops the issue, you're so relieved that she's no longer mad, that you're laughing and holding hands. And then you're fucking making love. And you feel pathetic that you're so happy she finally calmed down. Then you fucked. Everything's good. You lay your head on the pillow and realize, oh my God, we're going to do this same
Tomorrow.
shit again tomorrow.
That's the.
I couldn't. I couldn't. If this is how it is for men, bro, I couldn't. I hear it all the time from watching these red pillars that this is their experience. y'all really out here acting like that? But then I will see videos of girls just wilding out, and I'm like, but you have a dude on your arm. Like, how? I don't get it. I really don't get it. If that's what the dating life is like, Jesus Christ. I got no words, man. Honestly, I really don't. Ugh.